All right, y'all, you asked for changes and you got them. Man, we got some new patch notes detailing every single change that's coming to NBA 2K24. Y'all just sit back, relax, make sure to drop a like, drop a sub if you can, and let's get with these patch notes. This is going to be my first time reading the patch notes. And just to let you guys know what you're in for, I'll scroll down so you guys can see how much changes are in these particular patch notes. It's a lot to go over. We're going to do that right now. You guys see what it is. That's the end right there. Let's go back up to the very top, and man, if we can even get up there. Here we go. Patch notes that's released today at 4:21 p.m. October 10th, 2023. We'll go over each bullet point. We'll start with gameplay. It says standing meter dunks will not properly use the standing dunk rating instead of the driving dunk to determine the green window size. If you guys don't know, Laker fan pretty much exposed the idea that your standing dunk meter was pretty much using the driving dunk attribute. So you had a pretty large green window if you had a high driving dunk and a low standing dunk. So it looks like Mike Wang fixed that. The next bullet point says dunk meter logic has been updated to make the window size better reflect dunk difficulty. Slashers were struggling out there with their dunk meter. So the first two bullet points should pretty much address those issues you guys were having. The next bullet point says fixed an issue in the on-ball steal system that forced the ball to yo-yo back to the previous ball hand midway through a crossover or behind the back move. If you guys don't know, a video recently went viral of a ball handler attempting to put the ball behind his back and get it to the opposite side of the defender, but because the defender hit the steal button, the ball just kind of yo-yoed back to give the defender a steal. And that's a huge W for primary ball handlers, but pretty much a L for defense right now. Next bullet point says improve foot planting to reduce unwanted out of bounds violations when shooting near the sidelines. The sensitivity of the out of bounds line is getting fixed. Thank the good Lord. Next bullet point says when blockers jump early and land on ball handlers or shooters, fouls will now be called 100% of the time. Oh my God, it looks like there's going to be a lot of foul calls, slowing the game down. I don't necessarily like that change, but there most certainly needs to be a penalty for folks that are jumping early. I prefer 2K doesn't slow down the game and stop the whole game for the sake of a foul call, but let the person who jumped get penalized by allowing the offensive player to finish their play. Next bullet point says better shot coverage detection for opens versus wide open. Is this going to be a tougher coverage detection? We don't know just yet. The next bullet point says slight buff to close shots, wide open jump shots, and the limitless range badge. Oh my God, I gotta tell you guys, in recent days I've been shooting lights out, having a ton of fun shooting, feel real comfortable out there, and this looks like a huge buff is coming for shooters out there. And from what we've read so far, it looks like the game is starting to lean yet again towards the offense. The next bullet point says fixed an exploit that allowed players to double dribble by alley-oop / fake passing to no one in 1v1 games. I didn't even know that was a thing. I haven't gone into the 1v1, so it looks like that's getting fixed there. The next bullet point says remove pass interceptions on right stick up as it was being abused for easy steals with no risk. Looks like defense is taking an L on that one. The next bullet point says updated adrenaline system to account for successfully stopping post moves and no longer consume boosts when driving directly toward the rim. Looks like a W and an L for finishers out there. Next bullet point says fix the minor aesthetic issue with Klay Thompson's jump shot. I had no idea there was an issue. The next bullet point says change the heat check and recharge player indicator icons to only display when relevant. The next one up says limited the distance from which rebounds can branch to putbacks. Now I've been trying to get a putback out there so I can put it in my clips, and I haven't been successful as of yet, and I haven't noticed many people going for putbacks out there, so it doesn't seem like an issue that had to be addressed in the first place, but they are limiting the distance at which you can get a putback. The next bullet point says fixed an issue that was causing putbacks and midair jelly layups to be classified as covered even when no defenders were nearby. Yeah, I'm glad that they fixed that. I didn't notice anything about that, but that sounds suspect right there. Next bullet point says improve the responsiveness of stopping when setting a screen. That's really good to hear because they've been calling a lot of illegal screens, and folks know how to set screens already by now, especially if you're a veteran of the game. You know how to set screens, and a lot of those illegal screens were BS. Next bullet point says updated griefing logic to differentiate good versus bad full court shots and also account for players with high grades. And the last one in this portion of gameplay changes coming to NBA 2K24, it says address the rare issue preventing players from being able to break out of certain pass animations. Under general, I'll read this here: preparations for NBA 2K24 Season 2 launching on Friday, October 20th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm just gonna scroll through all this stuff there. I just want to kind of go over what's pretty much relevant to your gameplay right now. So we'll start from City, Pro-Am, and Rec, and don't worry about it. I'll go live and we can kind of go through the whole thing during a live stream. I'll be going live shortly after this video drops. In regards to the City, Pro-Am, Rec, and the theater game modes, it says many improvements to performance, stability, and visuals have been made to enhance the overall experience, yada yada. We already know the vibes. 2K Beyond trying to be vague out there. Next bullet point says made changes to reduce user reported latency during multiplayer games in the city. A lot of folks are complaining about latency, so I'm glad to hear that they're making an adjustment there. Next bullet point says squads are now able to chat when waiting on the got next circles. That's pretty dope. Next one up says progression earned in Pro-Am and starting 5 games will now be retained if the opposing players leave the game. So what was happening is folks were just quitting out with no penalty, and for other dudes, they're just wasting his time. Custom shoes will now appear in Rec clothing category as intended. A lot of people were complaining about this as well. You pay 10,000 VC for custom shoes. You want to be able to wear them in the Rec Center. As of yet, you haven't been able to make custom shoes and wear them in the Rec Center. That's getting addressed. The next one up says stats will now properly appear on the team matchup overlay when playing Pro-Am games. Next one up says the get on, get off animations for various vehicles have been sped up. The next one up says fix the rare issue that could cause the loading icon to appear indefinitely when in the city. And I see that often. I don't know if you guys see that, but it's on the bottom right and it just looks like it's loading up. The next one says the heat check and recharge reward boost will now be properly applied in non-NBA games. Next one says affiliation specific rewards are now properly removed from a player's inventory when transferring to the opposing one. Next one says players will now be removed from starting 5 games when idling for too long. Next one says the difficulty of the initial street ball opponents has been lowered. Now the next category is my career, quests, and progression. And I'll just go over a couple here before we wrap this video up. The first bullet point says multiple fixes and adjustments have been made to improve the overall quest experience and ensure proper progression and quest completion throughout the mode. So that's pretty dope because I was having trouble with some of my quests progressing. Another bullet point in this list says fix some tracking issues with quests shared across multiple saves. And in regards to everything else, I will be covering this in my live stream. Y'all be sure to tune in. Y'all be sure to keep it locked. Tired of running with randoms and you're looking for players to run with on NBA 2K? Come on out and join our Discord. We'd love to have you. The link for Discord will be in the description below. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and y'all be sure to keep it locked right here at AllCity Live TV because we got a bunch more NBA 2K24 news, information, and updates coming your way. Drop a like and drop a sub on your way out. I'll catch you guys on the next video or live stream. Easy, y'all.